everyone, Chris here and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm here to bring you my TBR for Galaxyathon. So this is a readathon I only just recently found, and it is hosted by Macy from the Bright Side Girl. I will link the details in the description below. And it just looked so intriguing, and the prompts looked like so much fun that I decided I was going to take part. It is obviously a bit of a sci-fi readathon, with it being, Galaxyathon. And I sometimes forget how much I love sci-fi. It is a genre I don't often reach for because I do tend to have a love-hate relationship with it, where I very rarely, I feel like, rate books in like the 3-star range. They're usually either high 4 or 5s, or I just don't like them and end up DNFing them or giving them under 2. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out, and it's definitely made me get some sci-fi on my TBR, because when I was looking at books to try to fulfill the prompts, I ended up going, oh no, I want to read that one too, even though it doesn't fit a prompt. So there's a lot more sci-fi on my March TBR than usual, but here are the books I picked that relate to the prompts that Macy has created for us. So first up is Sat on a Spaceship, and I definitely struggled with this one because I had a lot of books that sounded like they might have some sort of spaceship aspect, but I wasn't sure if we actually got to see them on a spaceship as opposed to just in space. So I went with one I was sure 100% would be set on a spaceship, and that is The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schreffer. It says, 2 boys alone in space, sworn enemies sent on the same rescue mission. Ambrose wakes up on the coordinated endeavor with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. But nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission succeed, not when he's rescuing his own sister. In order to survive the ship's secrets, Ambrose and Kodiak will need to work together and learn to trust each other, especially once they discover what they are truly up against. Love might be the only way to survive. So this had been one of the options for one of my previous rounds of the Queer Book Club, and I remember it sounding really, really interesting. So when I was looking and I went, oh, this is set on a spaceship, I absolutely decided it was perfect. I want to read this. It is currently sitting at my library waiting for me, so I cannot wait to dive into this in the month of March. The second prompt is a space mystery, and for this I'm going to read The Mimicking of Known Success. This says it's a cozy gas lamp mystery and sapphic romance set on Jupiter. On a remote gas-wreathed outpost of a human colony on Jupiter, a man goes missing. The enigmatic investigator, Massa, follows his trail to Valdegeld, home to the colony's erudite university, and Massa's former girlfriend, a scholar of Earth's pre-collapse ecosystems. Pleiade has dedicated her career to aiding the larger effort toward a possible return to Earth. When Massa shows up without warning to request Pleiade's assistance in her latest investigation, the two embark on a twisting path in which the future of rebuilding Earth is at stake, and perhaps a new future together. So definitely sounds like we're going to have to figure out what happened to this missing man, and I like a slight romantic twist while also being a sci-fi. This sounds like it's going to be quite the interesting genre blend, and I cannot wait to dive into it. So editing Chris here, and I am popping in because the book I chose for astronauts on the cover actually doesn't come out until March 18th. And this readathon runs from the 3rd to the 16th. And when I picked this book, I had it in my head that it came out earlier in the month. Oops. And so there's no way I can read it during the readathon because it doesn't come out until after the readathon. So instead of reading The Martian Contingency, which I do want to get to and does, like I said, come out March 18th, I'm going to read To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, because that to me is an astronaut, at least based on the description. And this is a standalone novella by Becky, and I believe it is the only book by them that I haven't read. So I'm excited to get to it. It says, at the turn of the 20th century, scientists make a breakthrough in human spaceflight. Through a revolutionary method known as somoforming, astronauts can survive in hostile environments off Earth using synthetic biological supplementations. They can produce antifreeze in sub-zero temperatures, absorb radiation, and convert it for food, and conveniently adjust to the pull of different gravitational forces. With the fragility of the body no longer a limiting factor, human beings are at last able to journey to neighboring exoplanets long known to harbor life. So I think that's why I'm pretty sure this is an astronaut, even though they're not wearing the typical astronaut garb, because we have kind of moved past that in this book. So this is what I'm going to be reading for astronauts on the cover. Now back to past Chris to finish giving you the rest of my TBR. Then we need to read a book with an alien encounter, and I'm going to finish a series by reading Finn in the Subatomic Slipslide. So this follows, obviously, a boy named Finn, and there is definitely an alien encounter in this, though I can't tell you why because it would be spoilers. So there has definitely been alien involvement in these books, and based on the description, there will 100% be alien involvement in this one, but if I tell you what that is, it spoils some of the stuff that happened in the first two books, so I will refrain from doing that. But I've really enjoyed this sci-fi series. I've had a really, really fun time with it. I was torn between reading this or the next book in the Claude Evil Alien Warlord Cat, because Claude would be an alien. Both are really fun middle grade sci-fi series if you're looking for some. So I am very, very excited to be able to finish this series off and get to see how Finn's story wraps up. So perfect for this prompt, perfect for my 2025 goals, and just very, very excited to read another sci-fi that I'm expecting to like because it's in a series I already enjoy. And then the last prompt was space word in the title. And for this, I'm going to read The Last Gifts of the Universe, because to me, the universe is a space word. One of the things that really pulled me in about this one was the little Astro Cat. So I am very, very curious about this one. It says, a dying universe, a search for answers, an adventure at the end of a trillion lifetimes. When the home worlds finally achieved the technology to venture out into the stars, they found a graveyard of dead civilizations. What befell them is unknown. All home knows is that they are the last ones left, and whatever came for the others will come for them. Scout is an archivist who scours the dead worlds of the cosmos for their last gifts. Interesting technology, cultural rituals, anything left behind that might be useful to the home world and their survival. During an excavation on a lifeless planet, Scout unearths something unbelievable. A surviving message from an alien who witnessed the world-ending entity thousands of years ago. Now Scout, their brother, and their sometimes fearless spacefaring cat, Pumpkin, must race to save what matters most. So, I'm very curious to see how Pumpkin factors into things. I think this sounds like it's going to be really cute, even though it definitely seems like it's got some grittiness to it, and I am curious to see if it's as cute as a cover or if it's going to have a lot more depth to it that I'm not expecting. So there you have it. That is my TBR for Galaxyathon. Like I said, those aren't the only sci-fi books that are on my TBR, or I should say my tentative TBR for March. But if you want to know more about them, you'll have to check out the vlogs I release in March. I am very, very excited to take part. This is the first time I've ever heard of this readathon, so I'm so incredibly excited that it is giving me the opportunity to focus a little bit more on sci-fi. Thank you, Macy, for hosting. I'm so glad I stumbled across it, and I look forward to hopefully participating again next year if you host it. Are you taking part in Galaxyathon? If so, let me know a book you're planning to read in the comment section below. All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me space-themed emojis. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!